Hello, living for me here. So, we're going to do something a little bit different today. I'm going to be talking about Ready to Love, specifically a few things that happen at the reunion. Yes, I do watch the show from time to time. I can't say I 100% like it. It's lacking a little bit of reality, authenticity. So it's not giving, you know what they say. So I'm not talking specifically, or when I talk about these situations, I'm not necessarily talking about these individuals. I'm more so addressing the situation that we're looking at or that I'm reviewing. So it's not personal. I won't be directing it towards them, but more so the actions and the behavior. So let's just dive into it, shall we?
Understand that, like, my delivery and it all could have been different.
I love that you owned up to the fact that it was delivery.
Okay, so here, I love this. I love the addressing of what had happened, although I don't feel like it needed to necessarily be addressed, but this is a reunion, so I get it. I mean addressed in real life. So the dressing of the delivery is totally fine. I get it. This is where it makes sense for me. I would have done it differently. He admits that, and we are good right there, right? We should be good right at that point. All right, let's continue.
How would you have wished you had delivered the message to Kheri?
If I could do it all over again, I would say something like, there's nothing negative I have to say about you. I just have a stronger connection that I want to explore.
So this part of the follow-up question, how would he have done it? I don't necessarily think we need this part. I know for the show, it's been some months. Maybe I don't know how much time has passed, but enough time where it really doesn't matter. But again, I know it's a show and it's really for us to hear. So considering that, and in that case, it's for us. All right. So we hear what he would have said, what you would have said, and then I would really truly leave it right here and move no forward. No, move. I'm not editing this out. I wouldn't move forward because there's no use to go back into a deep dive into it. Here we go.
That was the way I would have done it, or preferred to do it.
That was beautiful.
I appreciate that. Tyrone knows it.
That was beautiful.
That was so good.
I appreciate that. And like
I
Tyrone
know, I'm
is
all getting teary-eyed.
Yeah.
Like, that was really
that was
dope.
beautiful.
Here's another part of this segment that I feel is not necessarily needed. I think I'll start on what I think is amazing, which is he held himself accountable and made it known to her that, yes, I could have said it this way. Actually, this is the way I should have said it. And I think it should leave it at that. But what is a little bit, we talk about our topic here is emotions are expensive. To say you're getting teary-eyed, you hear all the and all that. I mean, I think it should be the norm that men hold themselves accountable, women hold themselves accountable. It shouldn't be all this ooh and ah, but maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just me.
It's heartfelt.
That was.
And it really does something to me emotional. Because, when we talked, you guys saw it got a little bit emotional on both of our ends. And
Okay, this is the problem. Why does it do something to you emotionally? This is the point where I'm talking about, and again, I'm not talking about this person, anybody here specifically. It's about the behavior, the situation more so. Why does it mean so much? And you've held that emotion. You know, women hold emotions a lot better, or, well, yeah, a lot better. I'm not going to edit. So there are going to be a little bumps in the audio. You know, I may be tripping on my words, but forgive me. Anyway, women hold that emotion. And if we're not careful, we will carry that emotion in our bodies, in our energy, and with us. It's been some time now. She's saying it means a lot, which means she's been carrying it with her. And as women, you may, if you don't let it go, you're holding it somewhere in your heart, you're holding it somewhere in your mind, both in your body somewhere. So she's been carrying that in her body. So imagine if she's been carrying that in her body, she's been carrying other things in her body, in her mind, in her heart. And believe it or not, those things can turn into, they can affect your health. They can affect your of course, your mindset. When you carry emotion like that, it really impacts you negatively. Who is this man to you to carry that emotion, even if it's just a little bit? She said it meant a lot. Why? Who is he to you? You got to be careful, especially as women. You got to be careful when you're holding emotions. Let them go.
We're trying to hear each other out, and Tyrone delivered it the best way he could in that moment. And like he said, he was going through it, and it isn't an easy process, especially, you know, the things that he deals with. And I
You can say
appreciate
it.
his PTSD.
Another scene we did not need, or another portion of this scene that we did not need. So here she is so understanding. Oh, he did the best he could. He, he was so had so much going on, and I knew that, and this and that. She's very forgiving in this moment, very excusing his, behavior. I feel like it should have just stopped at him holding himself accountable, which he did, and that's it. It didn't need for her to come back and say, you know what, you had so much going on. No, he held himself accountable. That's it. That's what we all want. That's what we all want. So period. That should have been a period there. Instead, it was just so much forgiveness, and it should be, but the forgiveness should be at the moment it happened, when he said whatever he said. If you watched in the show, she was upset that he didn't, I guess, turn her down in the way that she expected. That's when you just say, you know what, he did the best that he could. I may have not liked the delivery, but I'm leaving it at that. That's when you give yourself that talk, not from him, but for yourself. So another part of the reunion that caught my attention is between, I'm going to call them characters, between Frank and Mumen, or Mumen. I think it's Mumen. And so what was interesting, again, the entire cast, I don't know if I care to do the research. I should, right? Basically, they have not been together long enough for these emotions that they're sharing. I'm speaking of them, but I am also just speaking in real life, and it's more so to the situation. When I say your emotions are expensive, they shouldn't be given. You shouldn't give someone else the power, enough power, to hold your emotions, to make you feel to make you feel hurt. And kind of, you don't give your heart to just anybody. And I think you're going to see that in this situation. And so the cost of this situation, of giving your heart to someone who doesn't deserve it, and too early and too soon. By the way, look at Frank's face. He don't care. I'm sorry.
I said, I will believe what you told me. And all we have in this life is our word. And you have not kept your word. And I think that's what hurts.
Okay, so there's two things here when it comes to emotions. Now you see her finger is in his, not in his face, but in his direction. And later on, she speaks of his words. So it's more of like a body language. And she speaks of his promises. Now, if we can think again of how long this show has been gone on, or just in general, what we've heard so far, what has Frank done to earn Mumin's heart? What has he done, really? So, what we see here is she gave her heart to someone who hasn't earned it. So, therefore, unfortunately, is, obviously and naturally experiencing, hurt emotions. And by no means am I saying that she is out of control emotionally, because she is doing an excellent job in communicating how she feels. And that is necessary, regardless of the finger wagging or the what's to come, the crying. She communicates clearly what's the issue here. What I'm saying is you gave your heart to him too freely, and that's why you need to consider your emotions as more expensive before you hand it over for free. Also, to add, she says she trusted his word. So she gave her heart for free and for words. He gave her words. So we're at the counter, just to make a visual. He gave her words and she gave him her heart. How is that a fair exchange? It's not. Yeah, and that's why we're here.
You gotta be careful with people. You keep talking about the fact that you've been hurt before. You're not the only person
I'm not
that's been
saying
hurt.
otherwise.
So here he is, Mumin is totally communicating exactly right. He is very reckless. He was reckless with her heart. She gave it to him. He was reckless, and he's ready for therapy. I'll leave it at that. So there's a lot of work that Frank has not done. There's no accountability, and the list is long. The look on his face, his body language, he does not care, and it's so sad to see and unfortunate. So if we put it back on ourselves and make our emotions expensive, one, we're not giving our heart to someone who has not shown us or given us a thing. And I'll end it like this. You have to guard your heart. That's what you'd have to do, is guard your heart.
You know how much it takes to go on this type of journey? The bravery it takes to open up again to somebody? You want to know what I went through before this chapter? You have no idea, and I trusted you.
Trust. She said, I trusted you. Yeah, I trusted you. So look at the question is, what did Frank do to earn her trust? And even if you put the reflection on yourself, what has that person that you're dating or you're with or, approaching marriage, what have they done to earn your trust? That's worth examining, because what did Frank do to earn her trust? So much to get all her emotions. And your emotions should be expensive, not this cheap. Evaluate what are those things, what are those reasons you are handing over your heart. So another thing that I want to point out, she said that have no idea what I went through before this. Okay, so that sounds like unhealed trauma. So whatever you went through before this, yes, it could trigger you. We're all human. But has it been healed? Has it been healed? So have you worked it out? And do you have the worked it out to where you have the tools so when it does come up, you can check it? Like, I know what to do. I have the tools. I'm being triggered right now. And you activate those tools. Have you done the work on that? You can't make someone else responsible for that. Again, this is not, Frank was wrong, but I just pointing out the behavior. Have we addressed?
See, this is
You
the
need
thing,
some
though.
tissue.
You cannot come in here playing with people's emotion. And I'm not saying that was your
Okay,
intent.
thank
And
you.
so we're
Thank you.
not, so we're
Thank
not
you.
Okay, here we see Aisha hold Frank's feet to the fire and hold him accountable or try to. And he was reckless with her emotions. He definitely did that. There's no doubt. We don't know what we don't know is why. And it doesn't matter. The point is he did. And we don't know his intentions. He did. Look at his body language, his face. He does not care. He even felt attacked. He felt like a victim when Aisha just called him out. And Aisha retreated a little bit and said, "Oh, I'm not saying you did that." No, he did. He did intentionally. We just don't know why. And that's sad and unfortunate, but even more reason for us as women who hold emotions is to guard our heart and to really evaluate who we're giving it to. And that doesn't mean you have to be emotionless. Just be careful and be more intentional about who gets that part of you.
have to be able to identify your mishaps as a person, because now it affected somebody else. And it's not fair. We do not get to show up in this world and keep hurting people.
Now, let's be real. Frank is not crying. Come on. Now, this is a serious video, but also sprinklings of a little other things, you know. But in all seriousness, he's not crying. Come on. Come on. He feels, I can't, you know, I shouldn't speak to how he feels, but he does not look like he's hurt. And those dry, you know, those dry tears. The point is here is that, you know, I appreciate Aisha bring a little bit of therapy. It is giving ready for therapy, which I feel like a lot of the cast members probably need, and that's not a judgment. So I'm stepping out of like just looking objectively, but I mean, it's kind of reality. We all need therapy, right? Yeah, we all do. Just a little bit. We need the tools, and a person that would do that is missing the tools. And I'm so glad Aisha really, really laid it out what's needed here. And that's important.
I think for the future, Frank, you should look at your partner as being a friend.
I do.
And at the end of the day, it always starts with the baseline as friendship. And that should be something that you just always go back to. It's like, how would I want my friend to feel?
Zadia makes an excellent point here. Friendship is so essential. When you're dating, you're essentially developing a friendship, or you should be. You know what not should be, I shouldn't say that. You do what you desire, whatever you desire. But when you are dating seriously, like say for marriage or something more, you are developing a friendship. You're developing that strong connection, that bond. After that point, that's where you reciprocate in giving your heart. Once you've really reached that place where you have a strong friendship, and the roots are tight, the roots are bound. That's a great, excellent point. Friendship first.
I didn't value the relationship thus far as I should have.
There we go. He said it all. He said, I didn't think. No, you did not value the relationship. He said it all. He did not value the relationship. Now, his thoughts and his actions, to be honest, I'm sure they aligned. Now, the question is, can you recognize when someone is not valuing the relationship? What are the signs? Are you looking for the signs, or are you just hoping that this is going to work out? Did Mumen see the signs? I mean, obviously we see that she didn't, but how can you learn what the signs are? You may need to get some tools. You may need to learn a little bit more about what those signs are so that we won't end up here.
But hopefully, this process has brought you both closer to finding your forever love.
Now, when the host says this process, hopefully this process brings them closer to bring their forever love, when I think about that statement, I think that there needs to be some work done. It's not, oh, go date some more, go date someone else, and hopefully they're your love. It is, what happened here? Evaluate. There has to be some evaluation. What happened here? What signs did I miss? What could I have done better? What do I need to do so that I know better? Where do I get the tools? What resources do I need to make sure I'm equipped and I kind of roll back the play, and so I can go forward. Before I go forward in dating, I know what to do. That's what that means to me. So we come to the end of the video. I hope you got some value out of this. This is my first kind of like review-ish. It's not really a review, but just commentary. I probably, never say never. I was going to say I never do reviews, but if it's something that stands out to me, I'll speak on it. I hope you got some value. Really cherish your emotions, especially ladies out there. Cherish your emotions. Make them expensive. Definitely, those are the takeaways. And the main takeaway is just don't give your heart out to anyone who hasn't earned it. And so I'm going to end on a funny note. I'm going to call it funny. I'm not going to call it petty. More like a funny note. And I don't know if no one notices this, but here we go. I hope you stayed to the end of the video because this is our funny moment in this very serious video. Look, never trust a man with pink cowboy boots or red. They look pink to me. Don't trust a man with pink cowboy boots, and he got the socks all up. Okay, so this is like part fashion because, I'll be bringing some fashion to the channel. And maybe this is like a sprinkle of lighthearted shade. But look, I'm sorry. Look at those shoes. No, sir. Oh my goodness. Anyway, that's just my opinion. Just leaving you on a funny note. Guard your hearts and don't trust the men with the pink cowboy boots. Until next time, bye.